All right, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So we're going to cover the next volume of Centuria. So I've already recorded videos for the first 3 chapters as well as Spy Family. So those should be out on the channel by now. Next week, once I've recovered, I will hopefully be back to read-throughs again, so look forward to that. A lot of good content going to be coming your way, so if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Without further ado, let us dive into it with Centuria Chapter 4, Villagers. So we have a flashback to Julian when he was working with a blacksmith. He's like, ow. He's like, told you never should have taken a child slave. It's like, I'll just get rid of him once I got no use for him. It's like, poor thing. It's like, it'd be a kindness. He was sold by his own mother. You hit rock bottom, no amount of struggling is going to dig him out of that hole. So what's the point if he hasn't got a chance at a decent life? Ending it for him's a kindness simple as that. And you see back in the present with, I'll look for work too. I've taken advantage of your kindness for too long, Ungval. I want to earn my keep and save for Diana's future too. And she's like, all right, there's a village nearby. Let's find you a job there. And you see as they walk into the village, we haven't got no need for a kid who can't do a grown man's work. Anybody who can't pull their weight's a burden on the whole village. He's got, I'll earn my keep. I'll do anything. So don't look like you could do a full-grown man's worth of work. How are we supposed to trust you? If an outsider like you can work like you say, you'll have to prove it. He's like, how? It's like, see that cave right there? That's the entrance to the mines where we get our iron. Take a gander at the left side. The thing's shields shut after a cave-in. What I want you to do is move all those rocks out by day's end. You do that, we'll see about getting you some work. Luckily, it's only about 10 meters deep, but the rocks get bigger the deeper you go. And Ungval's like, that's ridiculous. Even an adult couldn't do all that. You're being too harsh on the kid. It's like, if he doesn't want to do it, he don't have to. Julian's like, I'll do it. So he's like lifting the rocks. Like, that's one. It's like, honestly, this is pretty easy. Maybe I can do this? And you see later as he's just like struggling by heaving this gigantic rock on his back, sweat just dripping down his face. And you see as the villagers are all watching him, it's like he's more than halfway there. And you see him just like slipping and struggling. He's got like a bag of rocks he's carrying out. It's like, my legs and my arms won't listen to me. He's like, and he's like, he's breathing heavily, and he stares over at Diane. He's like, just like cutely like reaching out for him. And he kind of grabs like all the rubble rocks back into the bag, slumps it back over his shoulder again, and keeps crawling forward. And as he's literally just like trying to crawl forward, as TD's like, Julian, he's like, it's like, what am I even doing? Why am I crawling? Why would I do such back-breaking work? And then you see as someone grabs him and lifts him up, and you see an apparition of all the slaves from back on the ship standing behind him, as they're all like, use us. It'll be easy then. And you see as the cracks like spider up from his eyes. He's like, you're always saving me when the going gets tough. I haven't been able to do anything on my own, like back then. I'm just a kid you all saved. If I never move forward from being that kid, you'll always be worried about me. And she thinks back to Mira saying, Julian, take care of my baby. It's like, you entrusted me with this, so I'll do it on my own. It only means something because I'm the one doing it. And you see him like still trying to crawl with the bag on his back. It's like, hey, that's enough, isn't it? Let him off the hook. The poor boy's just a child. And you see Ungval just like reaching out a hand to stop him, going, you lot started this. Be quiet and watch. And you see at the day's end, he's got all the rocks like piled behind him. He's like, I've moved the rocks. And the guy just holds out like a coin bag to him and goes, sorry, turns out you're a full-grown man and then some. That's your reward for the work you've done. From now on, you're one of us. And you see him just bowing to them as he grins. And later that night, he takes the little, I guess, the blanket that Dino's wrapped, and he like wraps it up and makes a little makeshift cairn grave, I guess, for all the slaves that died. It's like, Mira, you can rest while you watch us. And you hear, Ungval, Titi. It's like, oh, look. And you see Diana just like crawling on the ground. It's like, she's crawling. It's like, oh. It's like, that's amazing, Diana. You're even better at it than Julian. He's like, goo? It's like, that's just mean. It's like, even you're laughing at me? It's like, sorry, it was so mean-spirited. especially after how hard you worked. So I can't believe the two of them. As yeah, volume 1 end. So I don't know. Feel like this was the weakest chapter by far in the volume. Again, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is a problem some Shonen Jump series struggle with early on, where it kind of wants to like adhere to the shonen tropes and kind of like really wants to like slap you in the face with it. And I feel like that is kind of holding this series back a little bit with like how closely it's trying to adhere to the shonen tropes so far. Because you got the whole thing of like, oh, like, you know, the villagers being like, oh, you got to earn our respect. Like, it's not just given away for free. And they give him an impossible task and he has to go and do it. And he's like, oh my God, I'm struggling so hard with this. And like, he gives the motivation from like the people he had from behind. He's like, no, I have to prove that I'm not the same person I once was. Like, I'll do it by myself. And like, begrudgingly earns like the work of respect and everything. So I feel like it's this chapter kind of like was hitting too many of the trope check boxes and checklist the way it was laid out and paced. See, I don't know. I got mixed feelings on this one because I'm like, I still do like the premise, but if you promise me like a dark fantasy series, I kind of want you to lean a little bit more into that thematically. And I don't feel like, apart from like the gore and the fight scenes, the series really has kind of leaned into that premise. And I'm not saying I need to go like full berserk where it's like dark and gloomy and like all that all the time, but you know, I feel like I need a little bit more than just like regular shonen tropes for it. So yeah, we'll see. Overall, I think volume 1 was kind of a mixed bag. I think it kind of started off strong. It's kind of like faltering a little bit. But we'll see where the next volume goes with like the next couple of stuff, and hopefully it actually starts like building out narratively from here. But yeah, I'd say by far this is probably the weakest chapter of the volume thus far. With all that said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. And honestly, I will say I'm kind of glad I did just get around to all these chapters this weekend rather than waiting for the next one. Well, like I said, it's giving me time next weekend that I'll probably get caught up on read-through, so look forward to that. And as always, if you enjoyed these videos, you know, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.